Is that in order? Or...
Yeah, it's in order.
Yeah, I think that's a very
Can
great
I ask
idea.
them to come, or do we join them in that space?
Abdul, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Ayo.
Please ask them to come here, if possible. Please just ask them to come here. And this is the thing, we need to learn to speak from one voice. If we host parallel spaces, it just shows how disorganized we are. So please just ask them to come here. Now that Senate is here, just ask them to come here.
Yes, exactly. That is my point. And I can also see there is another by Casmuel and Okia Omtata. Senator, you had put him on the poster that you're running. You have a prior communication so that
it was arranged
we are trying to iron out.
It was arranged by the group. I was not involved in the arranging. The group is which arranged.
Okay, fair enough. So give me a minute. The other space, ask them to close, then we come and we can start with the. Thank you so much. Just a minute, I will be back.
Okay. In the meantime, I think anybody who has something to say, we can continue.
Okay, Senator, let me just help to accept the microphones, then we proceed. And also, Ayo, you'll kindly help.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, please.
Hello. Yeah. Hello. Hello. I'm sorry.
I believe I can be speaking as we wait for the rest of the team to come in from the space.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead with your submission. We'll be listening in.
All right, we have Katiba Day coming up, and it's a very important day, and it's a day we want to make a statement, and a statement in our unity and in our will to move forward and to forge forward together. One of the proposals I'm making is if we can have a central place of meeting arranged as soon as today, so that tomorrow, if we're going to be meeting at a place where we can converge and then have the march together, that will be wonderful. Additionally, as we are forming as we are forming structures from the grassroots coming up, I will urge us to also be set and ready to volunteer ourselves without necessarily having to have to be paid or to be assured of political positions, because that is something that has been a huge challenge in our country, the politics of betrayal. And it's important that as young people, we do not become the same people that we have derided. Looking back at Raila betraying Charity Ngilu and Kijana Wamala back then, and that's really it's a situation where you never come back from that, really. And it's our treatment of Osama back last in a few months ago is a testament on how politics should be run. We want to set us a bar whereby if somebody falls, even if it's me, and in the next few days I do something which is contrary to our values, I have to take a step back. I might be supporting, but I have lost public confidence. And it's a democracy that we want to. It's a meritocracy come democracy that we want to create amongst ourselves, where we have high standards, and these standards will play greatly in the members of parliament that we will have sooner than later, in my opinion, in the caliber of members of parliament that we will have. For example, if we're going to be playing politics as a team in Ugunja and Banisa and elsewhere, if we're going to be putting our feet there and across the country, if we're not going to wait for 2027 so that the country crumbles, and then that's when we start doing something, as many have spoken on Twitter and elsewhere, that we need to let Kenyans suffer. That is not what leaders do. Kenyans might not have joined us on the streets, but it doesn't mean that we stop standing up for them and standing up for ourselves as well. It is important that on 27, when we show up, it is a moment where we actually are starting a process of applying the Constitution ourselves. That is finding ourselves MCAs who are going to be making sure that the governments at the local level, in the county governments, are going to be accountable. In Isiolo, for example, there's a young gentleman who has been talking about that county. We need to bring him on board, and he needs to have structures there so that he can be a good citizen for his people back there. We need to get those in Mombasa. Our friend Joshua Kai is in Mombasa at the moment, and is traveling around that place and meeting people and meet grades and also making sure that the university students there have hope that we can actually have united front against the high fees that have been levied against the students. So it is important, as these things happen, that we have structures that can actually speak in one voice, that can actually be able to make statements, analyze the Auditor General reports in the various constituencies, visit the projects, document the cases of extrajudicial killing, have evidence if possible, so that if we get the opportunity, when we get the opportunity to take them to court, and also to make sure that these culprits, we make sure that they are actually jailed and justice is served for the comrades who have been murdered, abducted, and even injured. That is my submission so far. I can see Grace has the hand raised up, so I'll give her an opportunity to speak as we continue. Grace Oluwano, I believe you have your Oluwande. Okay,
I
Dr.
can see Grace. I can't see her, but I wanted to respond to you, Baraka. Is that okay?
That's wonderful. It's okay.
All right. So first of all, I'd like to thank once again Honorable Akir Tata for taking time off his schedule and hosting this space. We don't have many politicians who engage with the citizenry, so that is quite commendable. Thank you. Thank you once again, KOT and IO, for consistently hosting. Now, Baraka, Wakili Baraka, I would like to respond to you. I've listened to your submission. One thing you mentioned was sorry, pardon me, Osama. Now, I would like to say, first of all, in regards to that, you see a pattern of people who have been abducted, who come out of prison and start, are just dismissing the abductions of others. I would like to say in these regards that it's only a matter of time until they come for each and every one. So we should not just dismiss someone because they made an error. Yes, we have people who might have betrayed the movement. However, and I'm talking from the perspective of somebody who wasn't even aware when this wave of, canceling started. So I would like to say the enemy, if we don't identify the enemy, which is the reason there are betrayals in the first place, which is the reason people are internally fighting, then this movement is going to fall, and we cannot let that happen. We have to look at the lives that have been lost and focus on that and not someone like Osama. So that is what I have to say to that, first of all. And remember, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So whoever supports the movement, be it a politician, that's just my perspective, whoever supports the movement should be incorporated into it. You need all voices right now, not exclusion. You exclude one and then they come out, and I'm just really seeing this pattern, and I'm wondering, what happens during these abductions? What happens? Because everyone who has left prison has come back and really mentioned nothing anymore about the movement Ruto must go, and that is quite regrettable if you look at the lives that have been lost. So that is one thing I'd like to say. And then I'd also like to add that for this movement to be successful, first of all, identify purpose, and we can see that
Yes.
I feel like it's the time that we Kenyans don't trust anyone. We have seen these leaders. We don't need anyone to lead this movement because if we get tunaelekea mpaka hapa Garden City
we can have milk
so you guys
we can
unafanya just so afadhali utext kindly mambo iko live
what we need
baridi
to have a
na
people who have the right the time. Movements like this succeed for coded language and empathy. And I believe that as part of the putting together the we will also be developing code that
Baba, Baba, Senior Baba, Baba, Senior Baba,
we can be able to then address the issues in the. So I land at that point.
DJ,
and once again I want to salute
panaleta
everybody that has
mchanganyiko.
been,
Nataka
and
lero lero ni lero. Lero lero ni lero.
Tunasema Kenya mpya inawezekana. Leo ni leo. Inawezekana. Inawezekana. Leo ni leo. Mpya inawezekana. Inawezekana. Leo ni leo. Nchi ambayo kuna raha na ustawi. Inawezekana. Na inawezekana. Leo ni leo.
Is that I think I lost train of thought. So this belief has to be passed. So what citizen, and then they also, generate so much profit, and then we as a country can benefit. So why burn? What does that tell you? So these people have no intention of living. I mean, getting people out of poverty or education. What would even
Land. Be finishing up.
Yes.
Be finishing up.
Yes. I'm finishing up. Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to make those few remarks so that as you plan, you know some of the things you can take them into account. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. And I stand with you guys. Thank you once again. God bless.
Abdul Rama, you can speak next, and then we'll have Mwana Hawa speaking.
Thank you so much. Revolutionary greetings, comrades. I have been fighting from Mombasa and Coast region. I welcome this idea of for example, Kenyans might say, for example, we need to have a EFC that has prosecutorial and leaders now explain that Kenyans might also say the size of government will running on the same side of So what I'm saying is we need to be on standby with the international discourse that we might employ so that we're not caught in surprise because
na nimesema kiwe familia wale mapato kama kulingana chochote ile mwezi utapata shilingi 6,000 nataka vijana wafanye kazi ya maana sio kazi ya kukuma nyumbani yani leo ni asio ni asio ila udinga anatosha ukasafina wanatosha yani leo ni asio ni asio ila udinga anatosha ukasafina wanatosha kazi zile safina natembea mikono wabile uchitapata zile ndawatabu ila uchikula safina ndawatabu uchikila yeboka baba leo ni asio ni asio Safina wanatosha, leo ni asio, ni asio, Raila Odinga anatosha, Safina wanatosha, Raila Odinga wetu, yeye ni wetu, wote ugatuzi wetu. Mkonosi wetu, miaka mitano ni yako dada. Yote mitano Nairobi Mombasa. Tuko tayari, na baba tusonge mbele. Tuko tayari, azimio lipite kilele. Tuko tayari, na baba tusonge mbele. Tuko tayari, azimio lipite kilele. Ini ndio jeshi la baba Raila Amolo Odinga, tukiwa na mama Charity Ngilu, Martha Karua, Peter Kenneth, Kanini Kega, James Orengo, Kalonzo Musyoka, Junet Mohamed, na bila kusahau Hassan Ali Joho 001. Nisalimie mama Safina Mkwe, mwambie hapa ndo timu ushindi, tunakwenda na safi, mambo safi. Fire! Fire! Vijana fire! Vijana fire! Asante sana.
Thank you so much, I've seen the kind of the great work there.
really that based on very more than but when I get that be documenting every single step I've been documenting every single step of even I don't want just working in I think Nonini is gonna come back. Probably he has network issues. Can you hear me?
Pana leta mchanganyiko.
Nonini is back. Yeah, I can hear you.
Nataka
Nonini, can you hear me?
lero
Yes, I
ni
can hear you.
lero ni lero.
Yes, I did. I was trying to
Mugamba Nchi ambayo kuna raha na ustawi na inawezekana. Ndoto yao ambayo walisema Mungu bariki nchi hii yetu ya Kenya, haki hii ngao na mduzi, tukane na undugu, amani na uhuru, raha tupate na ustawi, na inawezekana.
Because it speaks about the real fact, what's going on ground. But that doesn't matter. We have our voices. How he got into the before 2017. Mwangi on Twitter, but he saw it way later, and it came to me that this And people like Kina Eric Wanaina, because it has not started with us, and we are literally standing on the shoulders of giants.
Na nimesema kila familia wana mapato kama kunaingana chochote.
But poetry is used to document in submission, and this is our little contribution to the movement. And I urge everyone here, let us use our small spaces, let us use everything we have to amplify, to document, and to revolutionize the mindset. Right now, I'm very happy because the collective conscience of the nation has been pricked, and Kenya will never be the same again. As Tupac says, for me, the idea is not to change the world, but to spark the mind that will change the world, because true leadership is in dedication. Let's get it.
Hiyo ni lori ya polisi. Yes, tuko hapa Garden City. Tuko Garden City hapa. We are here in Garden City with a wider angle on whatever that is happening for ground here in Civic. That is just our work. Pole pole, bila pressure. Pole pole, bila pressure. Yes. Yeah. This is the current situation. Mambo iko shwari. None. Watu wote wenye hawajatembea Garden City napata
tunakaa sawa puzi. Leo wanatuona tuliwavotia tu juzi. Saini ya ebugani na mkipiga magoti nyuomba Mungu mgani. Na under your watch mmeua watu wangapi? Kennedy Onyango 12 years Rongai. Denzel Omondi mmechukulia.
hii gari naona ya polisi ameingia ndani, Kanjo anataka kuingia ndani.
Mambo walai. Austin Makoha, Christian Gitonga, Joshua Ombati na Wilson Sidati. Bado tunawapenda, kuna siku watu wa hati.
Inataka kukuliwa side zote. Nataka kukuliwa na design zote, so tunaelekea mahali polisi wako huku. And nawapatie tu update. That's what I can do for now.
Tuliwasha hadi filter wanakula. Tiaga swali tupa kama shisha tulivuta. Rex Masai mweke picha kwa manguo. Mfundishe history makambo mpaka na machuo. How kids women and many haven't mentioned were killed in 2024 fighting for the nation. Yeah, ini more than just music. Ini chant, ni class power puse. Yeah, ini more than just music.
Tumetoka kusikia hiyo story ya mlima, mara mumeshika na mrembe mzima. Wasomi viongozi wamegeuka wakabila, nchi yetu literally wametupa ndani ya pipa. Opposition walidandia vipi, ampeja vitano wakajigawia viti. Wananchi ndo walishikwa wakalala ndani ya jela, wengine wakapigwa marisasi wakagenya. Damn, president bila emotions, na kila Sunday namuona kwa devotions. Na huyo Mungu ndo atakupiga viboko. Wazazi wetu wakikulia mikopo, wadi state of our roads wanatumia machopa. 1 million wanabaia maboxa. Imagine budget paka ofisi ya Dokas. Don't tueleze hiyo ndiyo kuokoka. Mnataka kuuza airport kwa Dan bana, na hiyo deal tunaielewa kwa undani sana. Na hiyo kitu umepea Joe, hiyo ni hatari sana. Na umekimya tukiwao hapana bana. Wengi ni taxi mewakost makaria, wanabiashara wakaenda loss wakalia. Nyumna ndani tunafaa kuimport kadamia, ndani ya cage kimawazo kama tuale na ngamia. Ini more than just music, ini chant, ni gas power booze. Yeah, ini more than just music, ini chant, ni gas power booze. Kwani wewe ni leader wa nani? Nyumbani kwako wewe hautujali. Badala ya ajira nyumbani, mayouth wanatumwa kwa nchi za mbali. Tunahitaji manpower home, tubadilishe kila mitaa hapa home. Hata mimi nadai better education, proper medication, walimu na pesa, mapipitisi. In times unajua, ikituuma ni lazima tuiseme. Na hakuna kugonga mo, wananchi wamekaa mkuu wa tuja. Gen Z, in your times unajua, ikituuma ni lazima tuiseme. Na hakuna kugonga mo, wananchi wamekaa mkuu wa tuja. Britain ziko so open, crocodile tears zinahitaji intervention ya kitunguu. Vitu kikwa life shapoteza meaning, pombe inatumika kutoa lock. Tumulishapoteza kifunguu, I'm offended. Youth uko depressed, una kazi na serikali inapea kazi wenye wanafaa wao retirement. So mbona una tense na hata mood ya worry? Hakuna hata pesa ya kulipo peanuts. Hizi kila mtu anauza njugu. Si wenzetu wakati wa kura ndio nakumbuka kutuita mandugu. Serikali ingekuwa inajali what we say, parliament ingekuwa na headphones na sio speaker. Mchana wanalala bunge na usiku wanataka night allowance. Hatred ni more, love ni rare. Wakristo ndio wako na chuki sana. Ironically, some of their favorite verses iko in the book of Romans. Truth iko na arrogance. RIP our fallen comrades. Kenya of life's importance. Let's teach our girls. Squeeze wengine wanatumia miadarati ndio wawe women of substance. I'm offended. We have a long way to go as a country na sio distance. Wafungwa bado wanaibia watu wakiwa kwa jela, propaganda ndio ina sell. Hapo State House wasikudanganye na deeds, hawataki kwenda heaven, wanaogopa kwenda hell. Wasikudanganye na words, body language can tell. Misplaced priorities. Hakuna maji kwa mifereji na maasa ya kura, wako busy kutap talent. Waliahidi stadium lakini kwa ground vitu ni different. Nakuru, Kihika, Naiba na Samburu. Avieta governor loyal to Adani, money trees wako majani. Promises ni mingi lakini manifesto zao ni kama katiba. Zote zinasema vitu zenye hakuna. I'm offended. Zakayo ateme jaba bana, tumechoka mazi.
Okay, guys, that's the end of the song. So back to you, Ayo and Okia.
Thank you so much, Willie. Again, thank you so much, Nonini. Thank you so much, Smalls in absentia. For everyone, the producer, the audio producer who came up with the beat and just did the mastering. Thank you so much, guys, for honoring me, giving me the honor to work on the video. And guys, please, let's push this video. Nataka hawa washenzi wasikie hii video. Because we are here because of them. Kama atungetoa hiyo video kama we had good governance. So let's not forget that. Unasikianga wasanii ni kioo cha jamii. Now this is the thing. Even our artists wanako overtax, MCSK, hawalipi, and the art pia ni job, man. We need to understand that. We need to appreciate our artists enough so that wajue job wana do, the intellectual property is respected. So that's why I decided to sit at the forefront and said, I'm going to work on this video. I'll be humbled enough if that video hits more than 1 million views. We have 47 million of us in this country. Let's get that video to 50 million views in 2 weeks or something. Let's make let's amplify the voices of these artists. If you heard every stanza, every line of that that song, every verse of that song, even the spoken word part, it spoke much about whatever we are going through as a country. And this is not about tribalism. When we are getting it tough, we are getting it all tough in equal measure. So to sour about tribalism for a moment, let's forget about the social classes for a moment, and let's support our artists, and let's speak to the government through that song. I don't know if there's any other artist who've paid tribute to and spoken about what we are going through as a country, but they came up and amplified their voices for the same. So thank you so much, Nonini. Thank you so much, Willie, and the other, and Smalls, and the other artists. And let's keep on injecting wherever we are. Willie, thank you so much for what you've been doing in our matatus, and we'll keep on supporting you. We'll keep on protecting you guys, you know. And if you're an artist out there, if you are an artist, I mean, you could be a visual artist, you could be a spoken word artist, you could be just a singer somewhere, you could be a creative arts artist, a director, producer. Let's come out and speak for our country through our art.
Okay. Ayo,
Baraka.
thank you. Yeah.
Baraka, we celebrate our artists, and thank you so much for the good break and the good voice. So I was suggesting we give Sefu Sani to reset the space now into national coordination committee.
Yes. That's what I was going to do.
Yeah, so that
That's what I was going to do.
so that as we move forward, we able to identify key players that are differently positioned strategically to identify the 13 issues. If she can reset and read for those that are not come, so that we focus on that in our coordination for public engagement into people's assembly, so that all of us, because I realize some of the speakers as they are speaking, they are way outside the context for the reason why this space was held. And it's okay, it's all fine. We all have a share to do for our country, and actually everyone has a voice and all that. But I'm suggesting that we have the specific about coordinating the People's Assembly and public engagement and towards probably reforms that we might need to see in the 13 issues that are being raised. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much. So Sefu Sani, if you can hear me, kindly accept the co-host and proceed from where we had left from. Thank you.
Comrades, I don't.
Sefu, we can't hear you. Or am I the only person who can't hear Sefu?
For the rest of you, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Now you can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, comrades. Today we've had a lot of technical hitches in coming up with this space, but we are glad that we've been able to consolidate our efforts and that we are here. The launch of the social justice song is amazing, and kudos to the people who've done the song. We're going to listen to Offended. And even as Nonini said, we have a lot of artists out here. We have the social justice traveling theater that has been doing conscious theater to showcase issues of social justice to the people. We have singers who sing on social issues, just like myself. And we've been doing it for a very long time, and we continue to do it. So even as we have this song, let us not forget all the others. And speaking out on the ills in our country and what it is that we actually want. And that being said, comrades, the meeting is dubbed the National Coordination Committee for the People's Assembly. And I will just sensitize us now that because of the technical hitches, Casmuel Kaskazini also had another link, and there are people there, but in future we will consolidate all our efforts so that we are able to direct our efforts together. The Coordination Committee for the People's Assembly works to be able to bring the voices from the ground up and to speak about the social oppression and economic exploitation that is going on in the country. It was formed after the Maandamanos we've been having since the 18th of June, and we are consolidating everybody's efforts for us to be able to galvanize them and send them to the people who are not the people who are not running this country well, and of course that is the government and the president and the other leaders. So all of us here are welcome to join, for the artists, for every other group, so that we can consolidate our efforts. And so far we have about 60 different organizations that have come in. We call up for more so that we have a central voice as the people of Kenya when we are fighting for our rights. And today we were speaking about the total shutdown on Katiba Day. Katiba Day is the 27th of August of every year. And of course, this marked a milestone in our country whereby we got the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution. Has it been implemented? Are there gross violations of the Constitution? We are coming out to speak. And as such, we have 13 reasons why Ruto must go now. And of course, we have many other infinite reasons, but these 13, we've been able to come up with them. We have documents, leaflets that can be passed on. We'll be able to share. Number one is extrajudicial killings and the mass murder of Kenyans. Number two is on the debt crisis that we have. Number three is the unemployment crisis. Number four is violation of the Constitution. Number five is subversion of state institutions. Number six is disregard for the people's voice. Number seven is puppet of foreign powers. Number eight is corruption and looting. Number nine is destruction of democracy. Number 10 is auctioning national assets. Number 11 is destroying healthcare and education. Number 12 is tribalism and cronyism. And number 13 is selling our land and our natural resources. These are the 13 reasons we are giving on why Ruto must go now. And we also have a charter saying tunakata, tumekata. Na tunakata, we say no, to all these social ills that are happening in our country. We say no to bad governance. We say no to gross violations of the Constitution. We say no to extrajudicial killings and the mass murder of Kenyans. So on this day, we are calling out for all Kenyans to come to the streets. We meet in CBD for those who are in Nairobi and in different areas of this country, for us to say that tunakata and to give our 13 reasons why we are saying Ruto must go now. So we are inviting us to be able to come together, even as we do it through music, through theater, through murals that we have seen. So these are the 13 reasons why we are saying Ruto must go now. And on this day, it's very important because we know that even a lot of our comrades have been murdered, as we have talked about that. A lot of them have been maimed. Others have been abducted from their homes. There's been illegal detentions. So I invite you now to come and speak on our constitution, its violations and why we are refusing, but also to call you to the street so that we can be able to galvanize this together. And I think I will give, I've seen several people who have requested for the mic. Afrocentric, kindly take at least 2 minutes so that we have other people come in. So we'll have Afrocentric, we will have Baraka, we will have Anthony, in that order. Afrocentric, karibu.
Maybe I can differ my slot to James Muriuki after Afrocentric. I don't know if Afrocentric can hear, but I can't hear. If he's speaking, I can't hear. But I'm differing my spot to James.
All right, we can have James come. That's okay. Afrocentric, I can't hear you, so maybe we'll have Anthony and then James.
Thank you, Sefu. Thank you, KOT and Senator Pierre for hosting this space. I'll actually do the same. I would want James to go before because there's something he has been working on that people really need to hear about. So James Morioki can go before me. Then we talk after him.
James Morioki, due to public demand.
Hello guys. Thanks to the hosts. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, so I'll just jump straight into it. This comes from an angle of solutions. So we came up with a blockchain voting system. The application is already ready. We've actually been testing it for the last 2 weeks. So if anyone would like to test it, you can just hit my DM. I'll give you the test link. Ideally, it's a real-time voting platform where the votes cannot be manipulated by anyone, and it tallies in real time. So as people are voting, you can see the results. This application has multiple uses, so don't think we are limited to elections in 2027. We can set up different issues to see people's opinions. For example, you can ask them, do you want a referendum? And the Kenyans themselves will decide, and everyone will be able to see the decisions being made in real time. It actually goes beyond that in that it's also a public participation platform. So we can post bills there and get people's opinions. In addition to the platform, we were like, how will we go around the whole country and introduce people to the platform and let them interact with it? One, I'd like to say, if you're in any institution, a university or a school, and you're having an election, you can reach out and we will set up the election for you for free so that guys can interact with the platform. Two, I think even Anthony will speak about it a bit more. We have designed an entire tournament that will go around the 47 counties of the country. It's going to be a 48-week program. So it would be nice if we all joined efforts so that this caravan that's going around the whole country carrying the app can also carry the People's Assembly, so we can have the People's Assembly done in every single county. I'd be willing to take any questions, if any, but the application is ready and it offers solution even for opinion polls. You know, what we are aiming at is to harness our numbers, but how can we show the government or how can we show the people where our numbers are? So if we all on board on the platform, then we can have a bigger and stronger voice because we can be like, hey, here are 10 million Kenyans and all these 10 million Kenyans have made this decision. So I'd like to land by saying the platform is not mine. The platform is not owned by anyone. Everyone who joins becomes an owner. So it's purely blockchain. It's open source, so you can see the code. You just can't manipulate it anyhowly. And we invite anyone who wants to test it for weaknesses, feel free to try and hack us. It will actually be very nice for us. Thank you, guys.
James, I have something quick to ask.
Wow. Thank you very much, James Morioki, for that. I think that is a very good initiative. I don't know who had a question.
Myself, Abdul.
Abdul Rahman.
Thank you.
Okay.
James, I'm asking in line with our objective of reaching people massively for and also as a virtual town hall to host the People's Assembly in terms of ease of users and when people are not voting, they just want to have inputs where they can have their participation virtually, some sort of a town hall. How easy it is, and have you thought about devolving it to the lowest level to 190 and to the lowest level in our country?
Well, the beauty about what we've designed, it's like a railway. Anything can pass on top of it. So, for example, if you want to have an election just for the people on this space, we can set it up immediately on the spot. If you want to have a discussion of a specific word in the country, we can set that up on the spot. So it has different levels of the wards, constituencies, the counties, the national level, and it also has, we are calling them spaces. So even if it's an institution, let's say University of Nairobi wants to do election, we can set up a space for them and ensure only the people with University of Nairobi IDs can access that space. So it's like plasticine. It's very malleable. Like we can create any space. Ata if, let's say, the People's Assembly is in Mombasa and you want, when the People's Assembly is going on, you want them to vote on an issue, like for example, the 13 points, how do you want to arrange them? Which one is the most important point? Which one do we do first? Even in matters of going on the street, if people were to decide on a date, you can put all the dates that have been suggested there and people choose the one they want. In terms of user friendliness, right now, because we are doing a lot of back testing, the onboarding process is a bit long. You have to download 2 apps, but by this week we'll be done consolidating that into one. We are also making it, there's also a way that we are incorporating our wallet into it. So the possibilities of the app are actually limitless. We are looking at expanding it also to incorporate procurement so that things can be done on the app and clear for everyone and anyone to see from anywhere. So it's quite interesting.
James,
Thank you so much.
You can DM Sefu. Sefu, make sure that you talk to him and organize a meeting with the team so that this can actually be implemented and maybe refined.
Yes, we've had that, and I have taken. I've had that, and I have taken down. We've taken it down. I've reached out to James, and we should be able to have a meeting. And of course, if there are any other questions, maybe about the project, James, it will be directed to you directly from the people, so that now we can continue with the conversation on Katiba. Although what I'm saying is that it's a very great initiative, and we look forward, to working together to trying it out. We have listened. Yeah. So now on our Katiba Day and the gross violations and the 13 reasons why Ruto must go, but also the total shutdown, where we are calling all of us to be able to come out on the 27th, for us to be able to speak out. Anthony, I will give you the mic, and then we can have Redemptor, and then Social Democrat. Kindly
our leader.
Okay.
James, I'm asking, in line with our objective of reaching people massively for civic education and also as a virtual town
movement and make us represent us in the party, so that we can hold this movement. So that we can hold this movement as long as possible. Even if it can take 100 years holding this movement in Kenya, we can have it. This movement can always keep any government that is coming in place. This movement can keep it accountable. This movement can be held to be a Kenyan movement, Kenyan people movement. We don't need to be political. We don't have to have leaders. We have enough. We have a secretariat now. I'm glad to know that today we have a secretariat who are doing things, and I believe the secretariat are the people who are 100% volunteering. Nobody is paying you guys. You're doing the thing. Keep up. Let us hold this thing as long as possible. Let us overhaul the government. Let us not wait for 2027. Another thing, secretariat. Therefore, I'm dropping very soon. Another thing, secretariat, make sure you fight this thing of people coming up here and telling us about 2027. There's no way we will choose between thieves, bad thieves and worst thieves. There's no way we'll do that. Even if we can put one of us here, we can take someone like Mudhiora or somebody like KOT or Safe. We put you, or we take like 50% of us here in the movement and put us in the government there, in the current Senate, in the current parliament. I want to prove you, or I want to guarantee you that you will have nothing to do there. We have Senator Umkia here, Omtata here. If there's something he could have done, he could not be in this space now. He could be in the Senate doing the thing that you think we can go and do there in 2027 when we get in the government. But the fact remains, and the fact that we have to live with it, the sad fact that we have is, even if we get included in the government, we have nothing to do there. There's nothing we can change with these people. They are already organized. They have their system. You'll get there, and when you sound like you have something to say against them, they'll just eat you down. You'll be found in Kware or the other places. Ruto promised that we'll never find people in Rivayala. It's okay. He has fulfilled that. We have not found anybody in Rivayala, but we have found mass in Kware. We don't know what happened about them. So kindly, the secretariat, make sure that anybody comes on board, they don't talk about 2027. If the
Comrade, I would like to just cut you short because you have spoken for a while now, and at least we have heard your thoughts. So thank you, Gibegi. I want to clarify a few things. Mudhiora and I are both in the Secretariat for the National Coordination Committee for the People's Assembly, and it is the organization that planned for this and even the other space with Casmo. Now, in this, it is a People's Assembly, but it is a coalition where we have different people from different organizations. Now, when you say that the issue cannot be political, I don't know what you mean, because at least one of the things that we hold in common is that everything that is affecting us is political. If you're fighting for social justice, for example, we do not have hospitals, we do not have roads. The reason why there is unemployment and extrajudicial killings is really because of the politics, the bad politics that is going on in the country. So how do we change this country? So when you say we cannot be political, because the economy being bad is a political issue. High taxation and bad policies, they are political issues. Foreign powers or the drafting of an IMF finance bill, it's a political issue. And maybe this is the only way, even this conversation we are having, when we say People's Assembly, people are talking about things that are not going well in their communities. I think those are political issues, and it's through the leadership, the great political leadership that we want to attain, is how we're going to change our country. In the People's Assembly, I will let you know that we have several political parties. As Mudiara said, we have the National Reconstruction Alliance, which is the party for Okiya Omtata. It's there. We have the Communist Party of Kenya. We have Ukweli Party. We have United Green Movement. So we have different organizations. Apart from that, there are other organizations that are part of it, such as Madare Social Justice, Dandora Social Justice, women organizations like one I'm in, which is the World March of Women. So we have all these different organizations and people who have come together to form the People's Assembly. And each of us have an equal stake in the coalition. We have rules and guidelines like now the 13 reasons they bring us together. The Tumekata Charter, which is refusing all these social evils. We are saying tumekataa corruption kwa hii country. We are saying tumekataa extrajudicial killings. We are saying tumekataa debt crisis. We are saying tumekataa unemployment crisis. So this is the way in which we are coming together and inviting all these people to come. Each of the people represented have an equal stake, and we are able to come together to have conversations and agree that this is how we're going to move, of course, with the help of the Secretariat. The Secretariat runs free of charge. Nobody pays us. We are not given money. It is completely voluntary. I hope I have answered you because you raised some pertinent issues, which it was important for me to say. Kenyans, I can see you speaking.
Kidogo tu. KOT, kuna msee wetu, we don't like, we don't leave comrade akianguka. Kuna msee alikuwa anaitwa Psycho account yako ilianguka. We don't know about him. Siko rada kumuhusu. And I don't think tunafaa kumsahau. We should be, hatufai kuacha msee akianguka. We should be like knowing msee wetu ako wapi, because hata Psycho alikuwa ana attend spaces zetu, amekuwa akiretweet nini zetu, amekuwa our fighter. So I don't know KOT unajuaje na story zake. Sijui kama unaweza tuongelea hiyo.
Okay, Steph, just continue. Steph, just continue because we have a very different conversation. Kindly
proceed, KOT. KOT, proceed.
KOT, a minute before you proceed. I don't know if I can say something to Sefu. I hope Sefu, I think you have answered me a lot. You have to forgive us, engineers. We are not too much into this. What I'm saying about not being political, I was requesting if, or you forgive my speech. I was trying to say that the current politics we have in Kenya, the current political group we have in Kenya, the Ruto and the group, the Ruto kids and whatever. I think we have to do away with this government and everything to do with it, judiciary and whatever, before we do anything else. I think the secretariat have to work on that. And that as the other Gen Zs and whatever, we need to work on revolution. I think I'm talking about revolution, to be clear on this, to be easy on it. Revolution. If we can do revolution, can you?
Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that. KOT, kindly also you respond to the question that was directed to you about cycle.
Okay.
And then we can take
so
three other speakers.
I think
Farah, I don't know why I am unable to bring you in. KOT, kindly respond, and then we can take other speakers. Please, if you've already spoken, you can drop out so that it is easier to get other people in.
Okay, I think to respond to the question is that Psycho was amongst he is one of the guys who are hosting the spaces for the movement, and of course his account it was banned. So I'll get in touch with him later. Then we see the way forward. So back to you, Sefu. Just continue with the conversation.
I don't know whether it's me or I cannot hear KOT.
We were able to hear him. Just carry on. We can also hear you. I'm sure we'll all catch up as we go.
All right. Sorry, I wasn't able to hear. Thank you very much, Mudiara, for that. Now, comrades, back to the conversation of the total shutdown. And of course, we are calling all of us to come out on Katiba Day. with the 13 reasons why Ruto must go. I'll say them quickly one more time. The extrajudicial killing and the mass murder of Kenyans, the debt crisis, the unemployment crisis, the violation of the constitution, the subversion of state institutions, the disregard for the people's voice, the puppet of foreign powers, corruption and looting, destruction of democracy, auctioning national assets, destroying healthcare and education, tribalism and cronyism, selling our land and natural resources, And these are amongst the reasons why we are calling all of us on the 27th to come out and for us to be able to speak truth to power and to defend our constitution. I would like to invite, okay, I can see the real Joe is, I'll invite Kenyan Lady and then I'll invite the real Joe to speak. Kindly take 2 minutes and then so that we can invite other people as well.
Asante sana Sefu. Nipe 100% kama wanaisikia. Thank you.
Nakusikia kabisa.
Thank you so much. So I want to speak about two things. The first thing is NCCPA is just the best idea that ever came out of this movement. And my main okay, I'm lacking some words, but which is never really like me. But I really like the way this has morphed into one big movement, which is really the movement for Kenyans. You know, hata kama wewe utakuwa mwanakanisa somewhere, I would ask for everybody. I don't know how we're gonna do this in order to educate people about what NCCPA is exactly. So sijui kama you will come up with just really short notes ambazo we will share everywhere, you know what I'm saying, over Twitter. I don't know how we're gonna work that out, but people need to know what exactly the movement is. Okay, it is a movement. It is not a political party. It's a movement that will enable, will lay down a political platform. You understand? It will lay down you know, anything political, anything that needs to be addressed politically. So hata ukiwa to a kanisa somewhere and you are encouraged, or you are you feel like you should belong somewhere where people are fighting politically for, you know, the ills in our society, corruption, whatnot. You know what I'm saying? This is the movement to be at. So number one, it is a movement. So I would urge for the secretariat to come up with a way in which we can share out this thing for the next, I don't know how long. You know, we starting today, we're just sharing and sharing and sharing. So conceptualize it, come up with like 5 points or 3 points, or however numbers of points ambazo will be able to explain. Well, I have followed it, I understand what it is, but I would urge that we narrow it down in a way that we can share with everybody, alafu tuiandike kwa lugha zote mpaka Kiturukana, Kimasai, kila lugha, you know what I'm saying, so that all of us can feel like we belong. Number two, I would like for the secretariat and the main people in the movement to tell us the role of diaspora in the movement. Thank you so much for the mic.
Thank you very much, Kenyan Lady, for that. And now we have had KOTL. I want to request you to add Mudiora Kariara as a co-host. I am not able to do that. We have had you, Kenyan Lady, and of course, the role of the diaspora is very important when it comes to all forms of support that we are going to need for the movement, when it comes to amplifying our voices, when it comes to speaking out when people are abducted, when it comes to even them holding their own forums. And I mean, if you have a protest here, they can have one there to say that we are in solidarity. So, I mean, the role of the diaspora is huge. The real Joe, you can come in for 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much, Sefu and KOT for hosting this space. First of all, maybe I would concur a little bit with the Kenyan lady in terms of the structuring of the message, why we want, why we are talking about Ruto must go. So maybe we can we can engage more in terms of structuring the message. But anyway, mine will be very short. So basically, we are talking about the National Coordination Committee for the People's Assembly, which is a very good concept that the Secretariat had, and it's a continuous process for us. So quickly, I'll just talk about my own points, why I think Ruto must go and why I'll be on the Katiba March of 27th. So my first reason is I think this president does not fear God, which is something that our constitution talks about, the fear of Almighty God. And that is my first reason. The second reason for me is he has disregarded our constitution and dragged it on mud. So entirely, he does not regard our constitution. My third point, and this one even God hates, as stipulated in the Bible, the lying tongue. He keeps lying everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes, he's a liar. My other point is he lacks legitimacy and rejected his policies outrightly. So he lacks legitimacy. My other point is he lacks human dignity. He orders for abductions, killings of innocent people, just demanding for their voices to be heard. That is lack of human dignity. He lacks humanity. And my final point, he is the master of corruption. And these are not even my words. He was named the most corrupt politician in the build-up to the previous election, and therefore he cannot be any better right now as a president. He is the master of corruption. All these are our problems in one place. All these are our problems in one place, and therefore our Katiba has not taken shape because of the leadership we've had since 2013, when when the first government came in that was supposed to nurture our constitution. In fact, the 2013 regime was supposed to bring up this constitution into life. It suppressed the constitution completely. And therefore, we can know on 27th, we will not be celebrating the constitution at 14. We'll be protesting that this constitution has been dragged. It has not been let to mature. We've not seen the beauty of it. We have not implemented it. So we are protesting on the 27th, saying that enough is enough. It is our enough that is going to be enough, not their enough. Thank you very much for the mic.
Thank you very much, Joe, for your remarks. Comrades, we only have 5 minutes. I want each of the people coming in to give us one reason for Katiba shutdown. Just one, kindly. Randy, Jemo, Ismail, Mido, in that order. Randy, Jemo, Ismail, Mido.
Comrade Sefu, we are not able to hear what the current speaker is saying, but as you try to sort out the mic problem they may be experiencing, I would like to take all those who are tuned in today to reason number 5 why we say Ruto must go, and that is subversion of state institutions. Ruto has captured and subverted every state and social institution, be it parliament, the judiciary, counties, even the churches, and he's been using them as tools for personal enrichment. And we are asking, for how long are we going to allow for our institutions to be corrupted? Now, you may recall that there is an IEBC selection panel that was put together. Now, we know that all institutions in this country have been captured. We are inviting you on Katiba Day that you join one of our member organizations, that is Free Kenya, who will be collecting signatures across the country to petition for a referendum, so we come up with a just and fair mechanism of coming up with an IEBC panel that is all inclusive. So in case you didn't have a plan, on Katiba Day, now that our Katiba is turning 14, So at 1400 hours, if you will be in a bus, if you'll be driving, if you'll be on a border, if you'll be doing your business or at work, pause if you'll not be amongst the forces in the streets. Pause and reflect on what you can do to make Kenya a better country. Sefu, did you clear the mic problem we had?
No, I have not been able to, but unfortunately, comrades, because it's 2 minutes to 11, I would request that we close down this space and we meet next week again, where we will consolidate with the broader secretariat and members for us to have one big space so that we are not conflicted, in between the spaces. And we are together. This team, the team that was preparing the other event with Casmal, will be able to come together so that we have a much bigger space and we also consolidate our efforts. For those who have reached out, kindly send your contacts. For those who are interested in joining the National Coordination Committee for People's Assembly, so that we will send.
Sefu, kindly allow me
So
to
that
cut
we
you
will.
short, please.
Who is speaking?
Hello, this is David, Engineer David. Sefu, kindly allow me to cut you short, please.
Proceed.
So, Sefu, there's something I would like to say concerning guys on this space. If you know very well that your fellow colleague is somewhere looking for a job, or you have opportunity next to you, kindly share out to a fellow colleague so that he or she can get that job. Tusaidianeni, sisi ni wa Kenya. Like for me, next week on Tuesday, I will be looking for a safety authority person to help me on site construction. So I will post it here, and I'm very sure I will get the best candidate. Thank you.
That's Kenyan looking out
Thank you
for
very much.
fellow Kenyans. Therefore, as you look to conclude, I would just like to invite Kenyans, both in the country and those in the diaspora, to a press conference that the National Coordination Committee for People's Assemblies will be doing tomorrow starting from 9 a.m. Casmuel Makoure, who was hosting the other X Space, is the spokesperson for this coalition. And tomorrow you'll see him in action together with all those others who are volunteering in this provisional body. Remember, you can be part of this. Your only qualification is this, that you are a patriotic Kenyan who is prepared to pay the price to move this nation forward. That's all that's required for you. We are still figuring out how to reach that last man in that village that is far-flung. We are glad we have representation from the Turkana People's Assembly. We have Kisumu, we have Kilifi, we have Mombasa. If you're not covered, please come together, organize, and then be part of this coalition. Ili ni kongamano lenu, ili ni kongamano lako, ili twende mbele, tunakuhitaji ukiwa mzima mzima. Ruto must go. We must live and live and live the Gen Z revolution. Sefu, take it away.
Thank you very much, Mudhiara. At apapa.me, Mzalendo, Esquire, I'm calling out the names of the people whom we were not able to give an opportunity to speak. Kindly join us next week, and we'll be able to do that.
Okay.
For Ismail, unfortunately, guys, our time has really gone, and we also need to be people of order, considering tomorrow we have the presser. Heziaro, I see you, Steve KE, kindly, let us join next week.
Let me just give you one word.
Let me finish, Heziaro.
Let me just give you only just one word. Maybe what I can say, I can say that in Kenya, we have got several ways of making an easy solution, but we usually want to go after a very long way. Let me just give you one example before you close the space. The easiest way to change Kenya is to change the system of Kenya. I can reassure you, people will walk out in the after 2020, after date 27, then people will come back and hold space for at least 3 months and then again go for the same demonstrations again. If I were you people, I would rather support I would rather push for the change of the constitution that was currently sponsored by Eric Omondi. We have got it's very easy to change a constitution and even to remove a president rather than holding an endless protest, people dying in the street with nothing tangible coming at the end of the day. So if it were me, even if it's for marching for the constitution, let's have that changing constitution as some of our forefronts. Change constitution, remove all these unnecessary counties, unnecessary PSS positions. So this is what will bring something better in the table. But just marching in the street, reassure me, and somebody may recall what I've said. We will go to the street.
Comrade, allow me to interject. We are marching towards Katiba Day on Tuesday. We are part of the school of thought that believes that we have not fully implemented the Constitution of Kenya 2010. Attempts have been made. It's not as easy as you say it is, but what we are for is full implementation of this Constitution. Our Constitution is not inadequate. That at least all members of the coalition are in agreement with. So we invite you to interact with our material. We interact you to educate. Maybe there's something most of us are not seeing as to why we should look to amend our constitution. But first, before we amend this constitution, let's fully implement it. Sefu, you are closing, and I invite everyone that has input to make to join us in future engagement. Thank you, Kio Mtata, for having us. Thank you, KOT. Sonko.
Thank you.
Yes, Sefu.
Thank you, Muthiora. Thank you, KOT Sonko. Thank you, Kio Mtata, for the space. Nonini and Willie Oeba and Ayo, who launched the song on social justice. Thank you very much. Comrades, thank you so much for joining this platform. I will just finish with a very short song, which after this we can exit. All right, I'm having trouble with that, but thank you all so much. We'll see you again next week for another session. We will talk about how it has been. We invite you to join the National Coordination Committee for the People's Assembly. We invite you tomorrow for a presser at Chester House, 9 a.m. Karibuni sana. We'll be discussing all these issues. We'll address the press, and we will be on the street on the 27th. Good night, good people, and see you. Sonko, the honors is on you.
Okay.
To end the space.
I've been trying to bring the senator up here because he had requested the mic. He dropped off, but I can see he's out of the space. So just want to thank you guys for joining us on this space this evening, and I want also to let you know that apart from this space and other spaces, normally me, Ayo, Wanyama, Afrocentric, and Kowino, we always host spaces on Sauti ya Mwananchi on a daily basis to 10 a.m. and in the evening from 8 p.m. to 10 to 11 p.m. on weekdays. So we'd like to invite you any day, and Sefu, Diora, and Kina Okia, whenever you are having such discussions, ensure you are letting us know so that we cannot have different spaces running at the same time, speaking the same message. But it will be so good if we have a similar space where we'll urge each and every person who loves the movement to join us. So I really want to thank you guys, and I also want to wish you a good night, and always stay tuned on these spaces. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your counsel. Unity, peace, and liberty. Let it be founded in our blood.
Thank you so much and bye bye.